Have you ever pondered the philosophical implications of translating one language into another? Translation is not merely about swapping words from one language to another. It's a complex process that involves the transfer of meanings, cultures, and philosophies. In the realm of translation studies, there exist several philosophical approaches that offer unique perspectives on the translation process. On one hand, we have the hermeneutic approach, a philosophy that emphasizes understanding in interpretation. This approach posits that translation is an act of interpretation, a process of understanding the text in its historical and cultural context, and then conveying that understanding in the target language. It's not just about the words, but about the world behind the words. On the other hand, we have the deconstructive approach, a philosophy that questions the very idea of an original text. It challenges the notion of a faithful translation, asserting that every translation is a new text with its own unique meaning. In this view, translation is not a secondary activity, but a creative act in its own right. Then there is the post-colonial approach, which views translation as a tool for cultural exchange and political resistance. It highlights the power dynamics in translation, questioning who gets to translate whom and for what purpose. This approach brings to the fore the role of translation in shaping cultural identities and global relationships. Yet another approach is the linguistic philosophy, which views translation as a process of mapping meanings from one language to another. It focuses on the structural differences between languages and how these differences affect translation. This approach underlines the role of language in shaping our thoughts and perceptions. Each of these philosophical approaches provides a unique lens to view and understand the process of translation. The hermeneutic approach emphasizes understanding and interpretation. The deconstructive approach challenges the notion of originality. The post-colonial approach highlights power dynamics and cultural exchange. And the linguistic philosophy focuses on the role of language in shaping our thought processes. In conclusion, translation is not a straightforward process of word substitution. It's a complex interplay of understanding, interpretation, creativity, power dynamics, and language structures. The philosophical approaches to translation studies help us to appreciate this complexity and to reflect on the profound implications of the act of translation. They remind us that translation is not just about bridging languages, but also about bridging cultures, philosophies, and worldviews.